And second, as we've mentioned, 200 days Arsenal have been top. They're not tonight. It is Manchester City, but it could not be closer. 70 points each, goal difference the same, 21 wins each as well from 33 games. The only difference is goals scored. 3 ahead for Manchester City. That's why they...
About how many goals you could possibly score here at Turf Moor tonight, but was that an example of how hard, as you know, a title challenge can be?
For the way we played or for the goals we didn't score?
The goals.
Yeah, but the chances were there. We create a lot, make a fantastic game. Yeah, we did everything after the demanding game 3 days ago. So it's yeah, it was demanding. It's always not easy, but we play a really good game where we miss some goals.
I can see you looking at some of the replays that are going on in the television screen in here. We could see your frustration though in the second half, early in the second half. Maybe was there a dip in performance from the levels? You talked about the demanding performance against Arsenal on Sunday. Did you feel?
No, it's no frustration. How should be frustration? We won 3 points. We are right now top of the league. Frustration exists. So of course we can do better and score goals. But the guys did absolutely everything. We were bleeding in many things. We just don't score. So everything is difficult. Nothing is for granted. And we were there and we did it really well.
Was there a change though? Was it so demanding, the performance against Arsenal, that perhaps the levels weren't as strong as they were on Sunday, even though you got those 3 points?
I'm completely disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Because we make a better performance in terms of chances and chances and chances than last Sunday. Of course, the opponent from Arsenal is extraordinary, we know that. But the performance itself was really, really good.
And the mood, we can hear the music coming out of the away dressing room. You're top of the Premier League. How does that feeling now, going into the rest of the season? Is it still going to be as tight as it looks at the top of that table?
5 games, it's a Premier League for 5 games. So this is the reality. 5 games, and now we have a semi-final, really tough on Saturday. And now you have time and time to prepare the next games.
And that's just it, isn't it? It could be such a strong finish to this month for you going into this final month of the Premier League season, and with an FA Cup final you could possibly be in as well.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity to play, I think, 4 finals in a row, and we're going to play. We'll see how tired, maybe you have to make some changes, because otherwise have been, a lot of minutes for players. And at the end was a little bit tired, but yeah, we are ready.
I saw you celebrating in front of the supporters. I mean, they sang through every Manchester City song tonight out of the songbook, didn't they? They were incredible.
It's 1 hour away from I would say, from Manchester, so it's not. Thank you for the fans. Always, our away fans always have been extraordinary, so no doubts about that. So the game was really well played, really, really well played in many, many things. Of course, we could have scored more, but we take it. So. We take it.
Just one last one on Rodri. I saw he was here, in and amongst the team as well, as you probably would expect him to be. What is the situation with him? How long are you expecting him to be out for?
I don't know yet. So we'll see. Day by day, we'll see.
Probably his easiest save of the night.
They're the remaining fixtures, which we are going over ad nauseum at the moment. But let me, and as we leave that there, let me put this point to you. Somebody made this comparison to me with Rory McIlroy at the Masters a year ago, right? When he blew a lead, ended up in a playoff, and his caddy said to him as they went down the fairway to the tee to start the playoff, if you'd been offered this at the start of the week, you'd have taken it. If you'd said to Arsenal fans, with 5 games to go, you'd be level on points with Manchester City, level on goal difference with Manchester City, it's only on goals scored, would they have taken it?
100%.
Exactly. So that's the mindset.
And in a Champions League semi-final.
Yeah.
It's absolutely you would, but I think that again we come back to the hype and the situation and the expectation, but the reality of where Arsenal are at right now is outstanding.
So what it actually then boils down to is can everybody connected reset their mindset to go, we'd have taken this?
I think everybody's taken a push of the reset button after these 2 sides went head to head on Sunday, because the emotion and the intensity building up to that game, for the outcome to have happened 2-1 Manchester City, I feel like now we're going into almost a mini season where these 2 sides with these sets of fixtures, they're gonna be waiting for each other to slip up.
And people say Everton away and Bournemouth away could be City's two most difficult fixtures left. Before they go to Everton away, Arsenal have 2 Premier League games. They have Newcastle at home this weekend when City are in FA Cup action, and then Fulham at home before City play Everton. They could be 6 points clear again before City next play.
Yeah, and that could give them a boost. But if you look at the Champions League semi-final, you would expect Arsenal, with the form they showed this season, to beat Newcastle and to beat Fulham. It's what the Atletico Madrid game takes out of them, because I believe they can beat them. Have they got enough grit and determination to win all of those games? They've got the quality. And I feel as though when we talk about Arsenal, it's, they've bottled it. All this, again, social media, they've not bottled it. It's just to open the door for Man City. It's still in their hands. They can do it. It's just what those games in the Champions League take out of them, because against Atletico Madrid and Simeone, they're going to grind them down.
Yeah, they are. And it's funny because we spoke about the game tonight, Manchester City. They didn't put in the performance, but they got the result.
Correct.
Arsenal at the weekend put in a performance, but didn't get the result.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by the twist of it. But if you're Arsenal, off the back of that City game, as soon as you get over the result and you put it to bed, and the fact that the way that they played, they've teed themselves up to finish the season strongly. I thought they were outstanding in terms of the performance. They hit the post twice. Yes, Manchester City hit the post as well, but they created chances against one of Europe's top sides, and I think that they can take great confidence from that. But obviously, the headlines will be that, you know, Arsenal are slipping up. Well, they're not. They're still right in it, and the league table tells you that.
So, would you expect them? I don't like asking you questions. I don't like asking you questions that could then be replayed over and over, making you look daft.
But you're still going to ask
it. Yes, I am, Iceland.
Of course you are.
Would you expect, even though what you said about the Champions League and everything, would you expect Arsenal to be 6 clear by the time City next play?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, you would.
I would. I would. Yeah, I would, because they've got... They lost in the League Cup final. Obviously, that was a blow. And the reason why I say that, because... And we was having a debate at the weekend with Roy, and he was saying, well, they lost, they put in a good performance, but they lost. But you can take something from a performance. They've been very good in a low block, and there was better pressing. Havertz is back, Gyökeres is back. They need to get Saka back. As soon as Moreno's a big miss for them, Timber's a big miss for them. But if you look at the game on the whole, Man City were wobbling for a little bit.
Weekend in the FA Cup, because a minute, it really does matter. So when you're playing these massive games with so much on, the fans, the expectations at the business end of the season, I think Arsenal and those 2 Champions League games could cost them in the run-up to the title.
And a few people have said to me, and again, maybe they're clutching, for City fans, clutching at straws here, the fact it's in Spain and in Madrid, it's one that, you know, Arteta would be determined to get through, rather than, I don't know, a German team or a French team.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge tie, isn't it? Home and away. It's a fantastic tie to be involved in. Of course, semi-finals don't come around that often for any club, you know. So, again, it's a huge car for these Arsenal players and for the manager to get to a final, of course. So, but again, you know, you mentioned there before as well, Steve, they've got 2 games now, Arsenal. And again, it's an opportunity to go 6 points clear at the top of the league before Man City play another game. So, again, going back about the psychological side of things, and of course grab some goals in both them games to get the goal difference maybe closer as well and goals scored. So Arteta will be saying that. I think he'll be at home watching this game tonight relatively pleased it was only 1-0, because that keeps that gap really tight when it comes to goal difference. And looking the way these 2 teams are going, it could come down to that last game of the season. Newcastle can't just keep losing and losing. Yeah, they're having a tough time. Newcastle. I don't know, it's sort of scratching your head time a wee bit with Newcastle. I mean, it's a tough game. Obviously, the weekend they've got to go to Arsenal as well. Maybe that's not a bad thing, because the natives at St James's Park are a bit restless at the minute, you know. So maybe away from home might help Newcastle a bit again. But it's a game Arsenal will look to obviously win, of course.
Obviously, Bournemouth at home was as well, and it got edgy and it got nervous, and they couldn't get the results.
Yeah, I mean, like, all the teams are like needing results, for whether it's to appease the fans, whether it's to get their confidence back, get momentum back, whether something's riding on it. Everyone's playing for something. And, I think it will be a difficult game for Arsenal.
Interesting. OK. When we come back, we will look at the other side of the story, because Burnley have been...
I think is obviously we want more from him in the interview, and Julian Ferrington there was asking him really how we saw the game. His reaction, we saw his reaction there, but he didn't give you nothing. He said we played well. We all know, by his standards, he wanted 4, 5 or 6, but that wasn't the case. But he comes to the media and says, no, we played great, we created chances, which he did do.
Yeah, but if he doesn't say that, we all jump, like we, as in the media, we all jump on it. We'd be having massive discussions about it now. It'd be followed up in the press.
Exactly.
We'd all jump on it. So he's got to play the straight back.
100%, and that's why he's a master at it, and that's why he's been a manager so long, because he says one thing to the players and one thing to us, and he means it. He's passionate, and you can see him on the sideline, but ultimately, he doesn't want to give a line to us, and we've got to sort of analyse around it, haven't we?
He has to squash it. He has to. It's his job, and he does it so well. And I think when they were supposedly out of the title race a couple of months ago, he was still the same. And that's what I love about the way he's acting in this situation. He's the same, and he's emotional on the touchline. And we've just seen those pictures there. He was the same against Arsenal. He'll be the same on Saturday against Southampton in the FA Cup. It's just who he is. But
you've got that experience of being a coach. What are you like? Do you say one thing's to you, or are you emotional? Because these are all good things. And we talked about Liam Rossini beforehand, and I was a little bit critical of how he was in the media. But sometimes, if you look at that interview with Pep, that is a perfect way to just shut everything down. We played well, we move on, go to Southampton, semi-final, let's see what we can do there. How do you approach it?
I think you nailed it before, because you said you say one thing to the media, you say one thing to the players. And that's the best way to be, because what goes on in your house stays in your house, and the way you operate, the way that, some coaches you hear, you read things, you operate on the basis that nothing gets out, nothing gets in. And that way you don't let anything from the outside affect you. And some people would say things have affected Arsenal. And you spoke about the power of social media in a negative way at the start of the game around Liam Rossini. And it is a very toxic place to be. You do see things get taken way out of hand. Sure. And I think that's part of the manager's job these days, is to completely crush things that get circulated online, because it's all rubbish. But they have to put on, like you said, a straight bat. They have to be really professional, really clear and really precise with what they say, because ultimately they're the face of the club when they have to speak post-game 2-3 times a week.
Let's show you the...
5, it wasn't meant to be. They had the chances, they didn't take the chances. Burnley was probably a little bit better than they thought. I thought they defended quite well in certain areas, and then on that transition, they was very good as well. But Man City will be kicking themselves. Obviously, they're going to say to us that the wins are most important, but the goal difference, especially when it's going to potentially could go to that, they'll be kicking themselves.
Yeah, but the first thing you have to do is win.
Yeah, absolutely. The performance off the back of the Arsenal game on Sunday, quick turnaround, the intensity of it, almost unchanged 11, 8-0 coming in.
Do you think that? Do you actually think?
I think it was never to be one to question Guardiola's team selection. He's always absolutely spot on, but I thought that he had no other choice than to play the same 11 because of how, apart from 8-0 coming in, because of how good they've been over the last few games. I think they've been outstanding. The connections in the team are forming very nicely, and I think the freedom within the team, the balance within the team, absolutely. This was an integral game tonight in terms of their quest to win the title, and they got the job done, the points, but like Micah said, they'll be kicking themselves. There's so many opportunities in the first half. Yeah, I thought Dubravka was excellent. I thought he was absolutely excellent. I also thought Burnley were excellent. I think, their fans gave them, rightly so, a really big applause at the end, because they could see the mentality, the resilience, and they're probably asking themselves, where's that been all season?
More reaction.
Top of the league, goals scored. Could you have done more tonight with more goals?
Yeah, we had a lot of chances, but I'm happy we win, and that's the most important thing. Anything else, don't think, just try to win.
Are we at this stage now at the business end of the season where it is just about winning? Performance comes second?
One more time, sorry, I didn't...
The result is more important than the performance, because the levels, they weren't as strong as we saw at the weekend from you guys against Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's all about winning, no matter how. We try to play our football and just try to win. That's what you have to have in your mindset, and now focus on Saturday.
And it also shows, I think, a team against Burnley when probably many were expecting more goals to be scored here tonight. How difficult a title challenge it is for you.
Don't think about other goals, think about winning, as I said now 3 times.
What about going into the weekend then? Huge weekend as well with an FA Cup semi-final. It could be a really strong month for you, April, couldn't it?
It can. It's been good so far, so keep going. Try to win now on Saturday, and then Everton.